what Christmas was like for me when I was about 10, we're talking 1970. We didn't have all these mobile phones, these game consoles, all the electronic equipment you have today. We didn't have the internet. There was no social media, obviously, and you had to do everything manually. Christmas for me, first of all, which is probably today as well, is a stocking with a tangerine. I mean, satsumas, I don't know what they call them these days, but a tangerine on top of your stocking. I always remember, like, on weekends we had big movies. There was no Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything back then. You had a movie on the weekend, which was like 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, and you'd sit there with a big tin of sweets, the big quality street tins that you used to have. They're minute now. It's like a lunchbox basically. But when I was about 10, like I said, Christmas Eve. I'd watch TV all day. I could sit there in the living room and you can smell all the vegetables being prepared for Christmas, which was always amazing because you knew the following day was going to be the big exciting day. It's got a little bit more commercial these days. It's fun for kids. It's very, very expensive. I mean, way back when, it was probably really expensive for my parents. I got two brothers, so we would prepare. We'd have to go to bed relatively early on Christmas Eve because Santa was coming. I mean, it was fun, and I can remember lying in bed, the curtains drawn, my heart beating 10 to the dozen, my skin feeling electric, my nerves were up, looking at the clock every couple of minutes, willing it to come to Christmas Day. Lying there, your mind working overtime. I mean, you want the idyllic Christmas, which is snow outside. Now I prefer the peppering of snow, being in late 50s, nearly 60. Way back then you wanted loads of snow so you could make a snowman, and you could dig along the pathway to make your way in and out of the house. And way back then in 1970, we had heavy snow on Christmas times. But lying in bed, thinking about that huge fat guy in the red suit and the hood with his sleigh and the reindeer, flying across the sky, delivering presents all over the world in that one night, and lying there hoping and praying that he was going to drop presents in for me. I shout every now and again, "Mum, is it time to come down, Dad?" "No, get asleep, it's way, way too early." My parents called back to me. My two brothers were there. Obviously, I slept in the same room as my younger brother. My older brother in his own bedroom. And it was just the excitement, the sheer excitement of Christmas Eve, and the chocolates and the fruit, and knowing what was coming on television the following day. You'd have a special on, or I don't know, a Morecambe and Wise Christmas Spectacular. You'd have a cartoon on through the day, maybe Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which would have been like an early animated, well, not animated back then, it was all puppetry and all that kind of thing. Today, now it's all 3D, and you've got huge extravaganzas of Hollywood blockbuster movies, but back then it was much more simple. It was a lot more fun in my thinking of it now. I mean, I've got a granddaughter, and I'm looking through her eyes at Christmas, which she's 3, she'll be 4 next Christmas, and obviously the excitement and stuff of Santa Claus coming and the reindeer and all that, all the films portraying all this as well. It's really, really a fun time now, but I think it was way more fun back then because it was more simplified, and the toys you had were more thought of. It wasn't like the hundreds and hundreds and thousands of pounds for all the electronic equipment. It was all simpler stuff, board games, making models, Meccano, Lego, all that kind of stuff. We got Lego, Meccano. I don't know if we got Meccano now, probably, but it was the simplest stuff, and it's just I'm still excited for Christmas at 59 in 2019, but I look back and think of the older days where we all sat around the table on Christmas Day, and all the vegetables and all the fun, all those silly hats, which I still hate, wearing those silly Christmas hats that you get in the crackers, and those terrible jokes, but it's all part of the fun. And I can even remember when I got a little bit older, I had a little sip of lager, which I thought was going to taste fantastically, and it tasted horrible. But trifle for tea after having, I don't know, turkey sandwiches, because you had turkey everything. After Christmas dinner, you had turkey sandwiches, you had turkey and chips. For the next couple of days before even curry, because you had turkey curry now as well. But the sheer excitement and happiness of Christmas. I hope you enjoy Christmas as much today as I did when I was a kid. I'm an author now, and I get to write stories on Christmas and all other kind of genres, but I still keep Christmas close to my heart. I hope all my family and friends are all healthy, and I'm really looking forward to Christmas Day and spending the Christmas period with my family. So I'd just like to say to you, have a really fantastic Christmas and make memories of your own. Okay, thank you very much. This small video just for you to see what I went through as a kid. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye now.